You might have stumbled upon the viral situation if you're using TikTok or a Filipino. If you're a Filipino, okay, not using a Filipino. And that situation is, well, it's in the title. Is a $6 engagement ring enough for an 8-year relationship? Well, to be more precise, it's actually 299 Philippine pesos, which is roughly $6. And it kind of reached somehow to some Western TikTok audience and they thought that it's $299. But no, it's $6. Now, of course, since it's originally in Philippine pesos, we should also consider the fact that this happened in the Philippines, a third world country, in our poor economic standing. Because, we're poor. So some prices might seem just a small teensy fart to you,
Miss, this store is for tiny farts only.
but to others would be a netherite ingot in Terraria. And you might be wondering why the title is $6 instead of 299 pesos. Well, that's just to have a more worldwide approach because, almost everyone knows the worth of dollars. So, let's be realistic here. Or I just want more people to click my video. Anyway, before we begin though, of course, context matters. Sit down and let those ears out because I'm gonna tell you about the interesting story of the $6 engagement ring. Once upon a time, you know what? The story doesn't deserve shit like this. So let me lay it out to you straight. This all transpired in Facebook. No, they're not moms and dads, but we Filipinos mainly use Facebook as our social media platform or even for communication. A girl has posted this, which will be translated personally as follows. Not happy with engagement ring. Hashtag sibling advice. I don't know why that's the hashtag, but please hide my identity. Well, it's just to add respect in a sentence. Okay, I'll stop stopping. My boyfriend of 8 years just proposed to me, but I feel guilty because I am upset due to the fact that the engagement ring only costs, there should be an S, $299 or $6. Is my value this low for him to not even save money for the ring? Or should I not feel like this is a big deal? Am I too immature to feel this way? He doesn't know that I saw the ring that he bought from Shopee. Shopee is an online shopping site. Should I ignore what I feel? Or should I confront him? But I also don't want to ruin the moment. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that voice. Oh my god. Now, that initial post drew a lot of attention, obviously. I mean, that's why it became viral. Like, why the fuck do I need to say that I'm making this video? And so, shortly after, I don't know how much time, but the guy responded. And it's a lengthy one, so I'll try to remove some filler episodes. And he's basically saying that he got hurt since his effort was not appreciated. I'll get back on this later. And signifying that the price of the engagement ring should not matter that much, especially when it's an engagement ring and not a wedding ring. He also stated that he's the breadwinner of their family, therefore he's got so many responsibilities. He has the money to buy a 4-digit price ring, which is roughly $20 to $200, because like 1,000 to 9,999 if my math is correct. No wait, my math is correct. I'm an engineering major. But due to the struggles, he sold for that ring which serves as a promise ring. He didn't expect that kind of reaction, especially publicly posting the issue instead of just talking to him about it. He was hurt from the negative reactions, and basically saying that he believes love doesn't have a price. And so he's also thankful because it became an eye-opener to him to break up with her and cancel the planned wedding. And that's about it, I think. A lot to take in? Nah, not really. The situation's pretty straightforward. Upon hearing the story, what do you initially think about it? Is the guy at fault? Or is it the girl? Or is it them both? Is a $6 engagement ring for an 8-year relationship acceptable? Or is it not? Well, let me tell you what I got from this, and feel free to share your points as well. I do get the sentiment of the cliched love doesn't have a price and all that, but we gotta take the actual action into account. Even if money doesn't define your love for someone, money does in some way define effort. Especially if you're someone who doesn't come from a rich family, wherein making money requires more work than ever. Now, for a cheap product to be filled with effort is to transform that product into something entirely unique through custom making or anything, DIY, which then makes it very special. Priceless even, since that's the only piece of that kind in this entire world. Now, looking at the situation again, It feels like there's no effort landed in that engagement ring. You can say all you want, but it is cheap for an engagement ring. All right, let's not huffle some cop smokes here. It's a $6 engagement ring that was ordered online. A few clicks were made, and not even a petri dish of sweat was spent on saving that money for an 8-year relationship. I'm sorry, but that's just the facts. Not to mention, the guy is claimed to be the breadwinner of the family, self claimed. And while he spends his money to support his family, he does make a decent money for a living, since he's the breadwinner in the first place. Do you get what I mean? Like it's a paradox, or not, I just like to say the word. He says that he's the breadwinner, so he spends for his family. But him being the breadwinner also means he has a job, he makes decent money, decent enough to support his entire family. And for an average decent job, $6 or 299 pesos is just like a day's worth. I'm saying an average, alright? Okay, now you might still say that it's a justifiable price, and I don't know his life and story. Okay, alright. You might be right. But let me just give you a hypothetical scenario. If he, for 8 whole years, saved a singular Philippine peso, 1 peso or 2 American cents every day for 8 years, he would have gotten some 2922 pesos for an engagement ring. And that's by 1 peso for 8 years. Just think about that for a second. I'm gonna give you time. So this engagement ring was made from maybe a few days of saving, probably be even 1 day, a few clicks on his phone, and that's about it. Like that's literally the actions it takes to obtain this ring. Next thing that some people are trying to point out is that it's just an engagement ring. The wedding ring is where it's at. Well, I don't know. Just because it's a prequel to the wedding ring doesn't mean that it isn't important. It's like saying being in a relationship isn't important since it's just a precursor to being married, therefore not much effort should be made. Or saying that not much effort should be spent on dating since the relationship is where it's at. Some people even wear both the engagement ring and wedding rings, according to my girlfriend, because it's that important. Everything is significant, especially if it's a memorable piece of your history. And proposal and engagement is 2 of those moments. You're gonna remember it till the day you die. For me, it is such a sorry excuse to be minimizing the essence of the engagement ring just because the wedding ring should be focused on. No, both of them should be focused. Maybe not equally, but both of them holds an important piece in your story. Now, for the most part, I agree with the majority of the people that are criticizing this, but I'm kind of split on them, saying that it signifies the financial standing of the man. So if you can't spend as much on an engagement ring, then they're not financially ready for the future. While it does make sense logically, I feel like that isn't the case at all. I think he does have a solid enough financial standing to carry their family in the future. Future Hatto here. Just want to say that I read a good point somewhere, which is if his excuse to this whole situation is he's still helping out his family and have all these responsibilities, then clearly he's still not ready to be married with anyone, or so start a family. So why force yourself to propose with such low effort invested? Just seemed like a good point to me. Wait. On a complete side note though, seeing this argument being thrown around in the conversation and the replies to it being, you don't need money to love truly, or true love doesn't speak money, or some shit like that, it's just sad. I mean, it is, logically true, but at least be more realistic. Like, this is not a fairy tale. You can't just sing a bunch of birds and let them do the work for you. No, even though actual love should not have money involved, survivability does, and that's the reality we live in. And of course, you can't just survive with just love, especially if you're getting married and building a family. With that kind of mindset, your future kids will just suffer from continuous poverty, and your whole family will just fall apart. I'm not saying that you need to be rich, but you do need to be actually financially stable, not just for you or your spouse, but to the future generation that you hold. Anyway, enough yapping, back to the point. As I was saying, I think he does have a solid enough financial standing to carry their family in the future. However, he doesn't see an engagement ring to be important enough to spend much effort in, unlike the wedding. And let me just clarify, if you think that way, then That's fine. That's fine. I don't agree with it, but that's fine. But I do think that's fine for you. Kind of a dick, but still for you. But you cannot invalidate your partner's feelings just because they feel differently about it. To her, it might be one of the most important moments of her life, just like I do. Especially after 8 years. She's been waiting for this moment, but you presented it with just like, I don't know, 10 touches in your phone and an average wake of saving money. It's very much understandable why he felt this way. Now, that being said, I would have to go against her on one thing: posting, sharing, and asking the public for opinions. Whether it was anonymous or not, the feedback of the people would still reach both of your hearts in some way. You have friends, families, or even him straight up that you can ask for opinions. I really hate how the world has turned into this. Like, it's become so normalized to share or ask anything that seems pretty personal or private to the world. I mean, you can even ask yourself first. Reflect on it. Say what you really feel. But yeah, I'd also understand why the man would get hurt from the feedback of the people, regardless if it was his fault or not. So, in the end, everybody was just hurting. Everybody was at fault in some way or another, and to me, I feel like with their different mindsets and the significance they put to certain things in their relationship, maybe they weren't just compatible after all. I don't know if they talked it out first or not, but with the way they broke up easily, it seems to me this is just fate waiting at their front door, finally answered and let in. Let me know what you think. I don't fucking know why this piqued my interest, but hey, I don't know. Wash your hands.